So listen, man. I normally don't do this, right? I normally don't do this. I'm gonna say a few things, and then we're gonna get this started. See, you know, I normally don't like to get out of my character. Normally, symbolism wise, right? John Wick keep his guns buried for a reason, under cement in the basement. But when they get brought out, he's left with no choice. Now, this man got some of the weirdest people in his following that's coming all up in my chat box. Brunson gonna get you. Brunson gonna get you. You're ducking, youngster. I just happen to have enough young man energy in me to not duck any smoke. So before we get started, y'all go follow Lord Brunson's page. He's a good dude. I'm going to put it all on the screen, all in the description, especially if you're looking for Eagles content. I don't make Eagles content. I know they talk about Dak over there a lot, but if you want some good Eagles content, you go over there and check him out because he's real and close with the situation. Brunson, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing, man? Thanks for having me, man.
Dope.
Like my good brother said, you know what I'm saying? Check me out if you're looking for some Eagles content. I'm here to talk about what you got going on in your mental, Voch. Talking about Dak is a mile ahead of Carson.
Sure.
I don't understand that one.
Okay, so let me get this off my chest first, because you wouldn't have said nothing if you thought Philly 500 had some good points on me. So apparently you thought I whooped them, and your people thought I whooped them. So you had to show up and get your. That's fine. That's fine.
No. What he did was. Mm-hmm. What he did was just battered the meat for me, and I'm about to just fry it. That's all he did. He did his job.
Okay, cool. So let me say this about Carson Wentz. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So let me say this about Carson Wentz. To your point, I do think he's a really good quarterback. I think he's fantastic. I think he's super talented. I think a lot of Eagles fans are incredibly unreasonable when they say things like Jalen Hurts going to take his spot. I think it's unreasonable when they say things like, oh, we need Nick Foles. Carson Wentz is better than all those fellas, right? My only thing is when your internal defense mechanism pops out, when your chest get real big and you be like, well, there's no way that Dak Prescott should be mentioned in the same breath as Carson Wentz. That's where I kind of get taken aback. Because if you feel like Carson is better than Dak, I don't hate you. You know what I mean? Everybody got an opinion. There's a lot of people that think their quarterback is better than Dak. I don't hate that. But I do think that they're in that same tier between like 3, 7, or 8 or so. If you want to put them in there at any kind of order, I don't mind. But you like to say stuff like, "Oh, Ryan Tannehill better than Dak Prescott." You know, you say things like that. So I just want to get a little bit of your vibe, sir. Why is Dak Prescott not in that conversation with Carson Wentz, sir?
Dak Prescott ain't showing me that he could win without all the talent around him. Carson Wentz has shown me that multiple times. Last year, for example, Dak Prescott, all the stats everybody like to clamor about, but they like to leave out that the Dallas Cowboys finished 8-8. Now, this whole thing with blaming the coach, I don't agree with. But when you throw for 4,900 passing yards, 2,000-yard receivers, and a running back with 1,300 rushing yards, and you finish 8-8 after starting 3-0, what part of the blame do we blame that? What part of the blame is Dak's? I ain't hear nobody blame Dak.
Well, it's interesting as a Eagles fan or whatever that you should probably understand that coaching probably means a little more. Like for every time you would say Carson ain't got receivers, I can look right back at you and say Jason Garrett is terrible. You know what I mean? So and then there's also this notion that Dak can't get it done without any talent around it, because against your Eagles, against whoever, like we've seen Dak win with Terrence Williams, we've seen him win with Bryce Butler and Alfred Morris and Chaz Green at left tackle. So this notion that Dak can't win without talent around him, I think that's a bit far-fetched though. But I mean even if that's the case though, like this whole 2019, there's two things I'm gonna give you, right, that I really can't say nothing about, that I'm gonna be completely objective about. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. That's for your side of the debate or whatever. But 2019 was a weird year for, you know what I'm saying, for Dallas or whatever. I think Dallas was a lot better than what they put out, but I feel like I could chalk that up to coaching, man. So if Dak's able to do what he does with a better coach, like Mike McCarthy ain't got to be Bill Belichick. He just got to be better than Jason Garrett or whatever. Then next thing you know, I think the Cowboys get a better product. So even with the bad coaching, the bad play calling, or the influencing the new play call or whatever, I think Dak Prescott was fantastic with what he had, sir.
Yeah, stat-wise, he was fantastic stat-wise. But play on the field, I don't see it like that. What part of coaching do you guys exactly blame so much on Jason Garrett for why things fell apart last season. This is how I look at it. Dak Prescott had 4 games last season. 1 game against the Philadelphia Eagles. 1 game against the New Orleans Saints. The other one was against the Patriots and the Jets, where Dak Prescott did not throw a touchdown pass.
Okay.
They lost all 4 of those games.
Sure.
So you got to blame stuff like that on your quarterback.
There are plenty top tier quarterbacks in the league with 3 or 4 games with no touchdown passes. Watson
Carson Wentz was one of them. Carson Wentz was the only quarterback in the game that threw a touchdown pass every game.
So that means every other elite top tier ass quarterback got games with 0 touchdowns. Sometimes it had, because look, to be fair, how this offense is set up or whatever, if I get in the red zone, I'm gonna get it to Zeke. I'm getting the ball to Zeke. So I mean, that's just an extra element. Maybe you feel better about throwing the ball with Carson than giving it to Miles. Sometimes, we'll give it to Zeke and let him run it in, opposed to letting Dak.
But we don't have a Zeke. That would be the more logical statement. Yeah, that would be the more logical play, to give it to Zeke a bunch of times, which is what the Cowboys do.
Sure. Which
brings me to another point. Why do we keep overlooking the most important player of the team? Zeke is the most important player of the offense. Do you agree or not?
Sure. But you got to use what you got though, because every team got an algorithm. Every team got this setup or what. So when we talk about Tom Brady, I mean, we could mention Belichick, but he's Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? We could mention Doug Peterson or whatever with Carson, but I mean, we don't. It's just that you have what you have. Now, when Carson gets more weapons, y'all drafted a bunch of guys this year, and it's time to evaluate them there. We'll evaluate them there. But what you got is what you got. And Dak with what he had, Dak was looking like a top 3, 4, 5 quarterback last year, sir.
No, you can't say that when you're going 8-8. You can't say.
I've seen. So listen. Let me say this.
Go 8-8 with that supporting pass.
So one thing that I'm gonna give you is that the Cowboys as a whole looked terrible last year, right? The Cowboys as a whole, and I do have a question that I didn't answer. Whatever. The Cowboys look bad as a whole, but we talking about Dak Prescott right now. Dak Prescott independently looked like a top 3, 4, 5 quarterback. Now you was talking about how did coaching affect what we did? Law Nation, right? You cool with Law Nation. He's on this show, Late Night Hype, him and 2 other Cowboys YouTubers, whatever, Skywalker Steele, Big Game James, shouts out to them fellas. They had former Cowboys safety George Iloka on their show. You know what George Iloka said? George Iloka said our coaching was so terrible that we'll just go out there on defense and we wouldn't disguise nothing. We'll just go out there and run cover 3 and he'll be like, Coach, we not going to disguise this? And he'll be like, nope. Then that can take a toll on your offense. If your special teams unit is 32nd because your coaching staff is inadequate, that's on coaching. You talk about games with like touchdowns or whatever, and one of your other big points is like game winning drives or whatever. Dak be on his way to game winning drives until somebody in a headset say, get a ball to 21 right here. While Dak is tearing up the Minnesota Vikings. Dak is doing work to this team. Dak starts moving against the Saints. We start moving the ball against the Saints. We'll get an old man Witten fumble. We'll get a Zeke fumble that was probably BS in my eyes, from whatever the referees were saying. If we isolating Dak Prescott's play, and I got numbers right here, but you don't want to talk about them. But if we isolating Dak Prescott,
we do. Talk about the numbers, because when you talk about game-winning drives, 14 of them, right?
Sure.
14 game-winning drives. A lot of people like to leave out that Zeke had 100 yards rushing in 7 of those 14 game-winning drives.
So there's 7 more. So there's 7 more sure.
You're right. There is 7 more, but he has a lot of help in the midst of those game-winning drives.
Carson got 8.
Let's be clear about that.
Carson got 8. Carson
got 8, but only 2 times he had a 100-yard rusher. One guy not even in the league no more.
Work with what you got.
And he still got 8. So come on now. Dak Prescott with these game-winning drives. Do you know he got credited for a game-winning drive for that Vikings game his rookie year? The game-winning drive thing is so blown out of proportion. It's something that I don't even look at. You remember that Vikings game his rookie year?
You brought it up. You bring it up.
When Thielen fumbled, Dallas took over with a short field. Dak got a game-winning drive for that. I don't even think he threw a pass.
That's football.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even think he threw a pass. It's a stat to me that's just so blown out of proportion. The running game is something that we can't take away. Ezekiel Elliott averages 292 yards, 292 carries a season, 95 yards a game. Come on, without Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott would not be as good as he is. Ezekiel Elliott has put Dak Prescott in multiple second and shorts, by being so dominant on first down. In my eyes, Zeke, and I hate the Cowboys. I ain't gonna lie to you. Zeke is the best running back in the NFL in my eyes. No Saquon, no nothing. I tell people all that all the time. Zeke is the engine there. And I think you break down film. If the Cowboys were so talented on offense, why did the Dallas Cowboys not win this division? When the Philadelphia Eagles had the same gripes and concerns on the defensive side of the ball as well, put them in situations. I think they had the worst secondary in the league. They were getting torched. Somehow, somebody still win a division. It don't pan out to me being a top 3, top 7. That don't pan out to me.
Understood. But that goes to Cowboys versus Eagles. If we talking about Carson versus Dak, that don't necessarily apply to me. But if we talking about Cowboys versus Eagles, yeah, the Cowboys wasn't great systematically as a system. Like in terms of the wheels rolling or whatever, the Cowboys wasn't great last year. And I've already said my different little coaching reasons or whatever. I don't want to beat coaching upside the head, but I've heard you like talk about Carson or whatever, and you make some good points about him. But exactly how you feel about Carson having receivers, I feel that way about Dak having a head coach. Doug Peterson won that thing with Foles, and Foles ain't terrible. Foles ain't trash. You know what I'm saying? But Super Bowl with Foles, coaching means something. And our entire coaching staff, I wouldn't even say entire coaching staff, but the big pieces, head coach, defense coordinator, special teams coach. That's where we were deficient at. Those were the biggest impediments to the Dallas Cowboys. Plus, we talking about wins and losses or whatever. Our kicker alone responsible for 3 of them. I don't want to make excuses because we talking about Carson versus Dak. But if we talking about the Cowboys not winning the division in general, I think if you had a better kicker, better special teams, and your head coach wasn't incompetent, you can't tell me Dak Prescott ain't a top tier quarterback, especially when he's top 1, 2, 3, and 5, despite all that.
Listen, as far as the coaching goes, I just can't blame coaching on some of the things that I've seen from the Dallas Cowboys. Dak not having not one game-winning drive, not one last year. All he needed was one to win the division. It could have been against anybody. You know what I mean? And I saw a bunch of stars give up on the team too, a bunch of people that y'all already paid.
Why do you think that is?
I'm not going to really blame it. Say that again?
Why do you think they gave up?
Well, Zeke pulled himself out of the game against Philly, last game for the division. Pollard comes in and fumbles. They didn't pull Zeke. Amari Cooper just blatantly don't show up on the road. And I also think Dak. These are the 3 stars: Dak, Amari, and Zeke. I saw Dak miss some of the craziest throws against the Philadelphia game. It just was like he just ain't had no heart to me. You know what I mean? And when you talking about elite dudes show up in moments like that. Now that I think the year was a bit of it wasn't a fluke, but what they did was they gave the ball to Zeke. Dak, the stats are, in my opinion, from last year are just a little blown out of proportion. We were talking about Super Bowl for the Dallas Cowboys after 3 games, after they beat up on the Giants, the Redskins, and who was the Dolphins. We screaming Super Bowl. Then when they go to play Green Bay, what happened? Carson beat Green Bay, Dak dunked. Then you go play Buffalo. Carson beat Buffalo, Dak dunked.
We didn't lose to the Dolphins, though. We didn't lose to the Dolphins, sir.
And we didn't lose to the Jets. So we could split that. I wasn't even going to bring up the Dolphins.
Sure. Of course you weren't going to bring the Dolphins up. Of course you weren't going to bring the Dolphins up.
I ain't going to bring the Dolphins or the Jets up. I'm going to count that as even. We beat the Jets. Y'all didn't. Y'all beat the Dolphins. We didn't. But who can you blame the Dolphins loss on, though? You can't blame that Dolphins loss on Carson Wentz at all. You could blame that Jets loss on Dak Prescott.
So why can't we blame the Dolphins loss on Carson Wentz? Because it seemed like you will pick and choose the situations for this, but not that. So why is it not Carson Wentz's fault that y'all lost to Miami? Because it seems like what you're saying is on the quarterback, and if it's on the quarterback, and if that's the rules that we running by, then Ryan Fitzpatrick is a better quarterback than Carson Wentz. If that's the rules that we running by, so why is it not Carson's fault that y'all lost to the Dolphins?
Because football is a team sport, number one. So you can't give all the credit to the wins to the quarterback. I've never been that type of guy. But when you talk about the Miami Dolphins game, Carson Wentz was exposing the Dolphins. The Dolphins went for a fourth and 10. They were about to go down 17 points. The Dolphins found a weakness in the defense and they exploited it. The weakness was Ronald Darby. Carson Wentz don't play defense. Carson Wentz don't play defense. And everybody know Ryan Fitzpatrick is liable to have a shootout with anybody. He had a shootout and he got the better of it. Carson Wentz had great stats. I think he threw an interception late in the game, trying to play catch up. But they found They found a way to expose the defense, and that's all she wrote.
So why didn't he have a so why didn't Carson have a game winning drive in that game? Because since this is a team sport, so why don't we take that into account when we talking about Dak Prescott? Then why don't we talk about that?
I mean, you can't have a game winning drive every game. That's just unrealistic.
Okay.
Dak Prescott didn't have a game winning drive for an entire season though. That don't strike you as odd.
He would have, but this is a team sport, correct?
What do you mean? In 16 tries, not one? Not one?
So if Dak Prescott puts up big yardages, big numbers against the Green Bay Packers, scores points on Green Bay Packers, but Aaron Jones rushes for 4 touchdowns, is that Dak Prescott's fault?
No, that's not Dak Prescott's fault. But it do come down to the inability to beat a good quarterback with the weapons that you have.
Okay. So
did Dak Prescott turn the ball over in that game?
He
threw 2 picks.
He threw a pick and one bounced off of somebody's hands. I can't remember, but it was one of them picks.
So it was counted. It was counted as 2. Had he not known the one that was just getting picked, maybe y'all win. Maybe y'all score some points on that drive.
Sure.
I don't know.
So I'm just making the same point that yeah, Dak could take control and win the game despite that, but then we would have to ask Carson to do that as well. You was talking about the Saints game or whatever. Sure, Dak could have gotten into a groove, but there was this Witten fumble. There was this phantom Zeke fumble. We can go to the Washington game to where we make a field goal and the damn long snapper twitched the ball a little bit and the referee call a damn illegal procedure and then we move back and miss the field. You can blame all this on team. So what I'm saying is that it's okay for Carson's team. Okay.
I cannot blame any game on team to where your quarterback don't throw a touchdown and lose a game by 4 field goals. That's what happened in the Saints game. I think the Saints kicked 4 field goals and won the game. I don't even think the Saints scored.
Sure.
I can't blame that on team. It's Dak Prescott's responsibility, and I'm part like this on Carson too, even though he don't have weapons. It's Dak's responsibility to get that team in a position to put some points on the board. 4 games, that's a quarter of the season without throwing a touchdown pass. Now, I'm not saying that everybody throw a touchdown pass every game. It's not realistic. It don't happen like that. But you got to find me some other quarterbacks that we call an elite who 25% of the season that they don't throw a touchdown pass. You got to find me that.
So as an Eagles fan, you should be aware, about wide receivers dropping passes. Like y'all were like 6 with like 30, with like 36 or something like that. Like we was first with like 41.
Y'all was first. Y'all were drop passes. We were first in touchdown drops. That's the difference. My guy throws touchdowns.
Similar stat, right? No,
you were talking about the difference between a first down, possibly a touchdown, or a blatant touchdown.
Well, because my guy shit. Dak throw touchdowns as well. He threw more than Carson. So like, what are we doing?
He did throw more than Carson, but 17 of those touchdowns came against the Redskins, Giants, and the Dolphins.
That's who we play. Because we got similar schedules. This is the NFC East. We both got the same type of team that we playing. So if we playing against the same caliber of talent, doesn't that make up in the conversation somewhere? If Carson's playing the same,
I agree.
Okay, go
ahead. I agree. That does make up in the talent somewhere. Your guy threw touchdowns against those teams. My guy threw touchdowns against those teams.
Okay.
But at the same time, I get that same energy from Dak Prescott against the Patriots, who had a defense that don't even give up touchdowns. My guy threw a touchdown pass against them. Sure. I need that same energy against Aaron Rodgers. I need that same energy against all these teams.
Sure.
My guy throwing a touchdown pass against everybody. I could count on number 11 for 6 points from his hand to another person every game. I could count on that right now.
Okay.
I can't count on that from Dak. When the pressure on and they get punched in the face and Dak is forced to do X, Y, and Z and make all these movements, Dak Prescott is showing me Carson.
But
it's as simple as that.
But Dak got 30 touchdowns though, player. So we just go act like them don't exist. They don't exist. And listen, they not even
Carson did that before too.
Carson
did that before too.
I'm not taking that from him. Look, if we talking about them in the same conversation and Dak doing the same kind of things that Carson Wentz is doing, so what's so outlandish about mentioning Dak with Carson Wentz then, sir? I'm bringing that back.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that Dak Prescott could have won? It's not outlandish at all. When you think about it let me answer your question first. When you think about it from a statistical standpoint, it's not outlandish at all.
Okay.
Dak Prescott makes plays.
Sure.
I like Dak. Dak is serviceable. He make plays. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's outlandish. But when you're talking about just overall performance,
yes, sir.
And being able to show you things when the chips is down, Carson dealt with adversity. Okay. The adversity that Dak dealt with, Zeke being out and his left tackle being out that season, he folded. If Dak Prescott won a division, why he don't got a contract? Let me ask you that. Why isn't he signed?
Because that's how contract talks go. That's how negotiations go. See, it's not that the Cowboys don't want Dak, because they offered Dak 4 years, $36 million. It's just that Dak feels like him and his agent feel like they can be better to get better money. So they gonna sign the tag. They gonna gamble on themselves, and they gonna try to make more money. It ain't got nothing to do with Dak Prescott skill wise, because they offered him the money. They just didn't take it. It takes two.
And you don't think it got nothing to do with the performance of last season?
Because they offered him 4 years, $36 million.
I thought it was 5 years. That's why he didn't take it. I don't know why he wouldn't take 4 years.
Well, 5 years, and then like the last offer was like 4 years, like 110 guaranteed, 35 or something like that. That was the last deal. But they offered it to him. It's just that in my mind, if I'm Dak and I'm Dak's agent or whatever, and I did all this last year, I get Kellen Moore for another year, Jason Garrett goes away, we fix the team, we'll just try to run it again. I just think that they gambling on themselves. I don't think it necessarily has anything to do with whether we think Dak's good or not.
Do you think Dak could have won a division? If you switched Carson and Dak, what do you think is the outcome? Honestly, because I'm a firm believer that only two other people in the NFL at the quarterback position would have won that division what Carson Wentz had around him.
I think Carson will be fine in Dallas, but it all goes to. Look, I think Carson's good. I'm not one of these people that think straight. So, but and listen, this is from a dude who says a lot of shit on the internet that will admit he was wrong. If I got all the answers right, I'd be working at NASA or something, because I'd have graduated with a damn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I thought that a good team could overcome Jason Garrett's deficiencies in coaching. And some years it did. Like Jason has gone 13-3 before. Jason got like a winning little record or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Jason got playoff win against Russell Wilson. I'm gonna bring it up by Carson Wentz in a little bit. But Jason probably coached his worst year of coaching last year, bro. And I mean, it don't matter how talented you are, man. Like non-talented teams or non-talented players win Super Bowls all the time. It's rare that a bad coach win a Super Bowl. That a team is so good they can uplift a coach. So Carson will probably be good, but Carson would look how Dak would look. Carson will have a cold last year 1 year, then the next year it'll be on. Then a cold last year again, then it'll be on. That's probably what it'll look like.
Yeah. I could probably listen. I'm not going to denounce the coaching theory, because we're fortunate to have Doug Peterson. I'm gonna keep it real about that. Of course, we're very fortunate to have Doug Peterson. I think Doug Peterson is a top 3 coach easily, because when you talk about coaching, that means getting guys who ain't played ready to play. Sure, and he mastered that. Sure. So you know what I mean. I'm not going to denounce coaching. It definitely makes a difference.
Greg Ward.
But I heard you say on the stream with Bad Dog that he was light years ahead. That is outlandish.
I said a mile ahead.
A mile, light years, that distance is outlandish to me.
Well, I said that, and they didn't let me elaborate, because Dak Prescott in his career has thrown for 15,778. Carson threw for 14,191, and I think that's like a mile in yards or something like that. And if not, it's like close. So I was about to get into that, but they just ain't let me finish. So technically, Dak has thrown a mile more than Carson Wentz. Sure. But
he has, but
I said though, to be fair, I always preface it with this, because I'm draft guy, and I've been watching these guys since they've been puppies. Carson is more talented than Dak. You know what I'm saying? Like as a quarterback athlete body, he's more talented than Dak, but it's about finding a formula, finding what works for you, and then producing, right? Tom Brady may not be the most talented person in the world, but if you put him with a coach and a defense, then Tom Brady could work. You know what I mean? So it's all about finding what formula works for Dak Prescott. I think running the football and, putting talent around him or whatever. If that's what works, then that'll be what make Dak the guy.
I agree with you. On that one.
One more point too, and just from this Dak argument, and this may not be to you, because I don't even know if you said this or not, but a lot of people from your audience have said it. I understand if Dak is leading the league in bubble passes, and we just yakking the shit to death. You know what I mean? Like Dak is also top 5 in deep passes and yards traveled and all that stat too. So this ain't me talking to you, but it's just me talking to Eagles fans in general. We can have the Dak versus Carson conversation. I'm just out here wilding for respect. I'm out here wilding for respect. You can think Carson is better. I just want my guy to get his flowers too. That's my big play.
You know what I'm saying? And Dak is definitely deserving of his flowers for sure. I think it's more of a divisional thing, but we gotta go at it to say who got the best quarterback. I think it's more of a divisional thing because to think Dak Prescott ain't talented at all is just ridiculous. But at the same time, I just know Carson Wentz is better. I think Carson Wentz is going to prove it. I think he's going to prove it. I think next season the debate is just going to be over and done with. I think Carson Wentz is going to take it over. I think he's going to take over the conference.
Me and you are cut from a similar football cloth in that we feel a lot of shit, and we may not be able to prove it yet. I may not be able to prove it yet because I got to see it. You know what I mean? But I feel a certain way, right? So I don't come out and say, shit, boy, Dak Prescott going to be MVP next year. I can't say that because it don't make sense logically, and I like to make sense when I talk. But if the damn 3 impediments to damn Cowboy W's are gone now, and you surround this man with talent, CeeDee Lamb, whatever, I just don't see a way that Dak can't be in that conversation. Will Carson Wentz be better? Cool, whatever. I just want a wow for my respect. I just want Dak in that conversation as a top 5 or so guy, and he should be.
It's also possible that they both could have crazy years.
It's possible.
People forget that. It's very possible that they both could be just destroying teams. You know what I mean? It's possible.
Part of my logic,
they have that capability.
Part of my logic too, I'm not adding old ass quarterbacks in this like Tom Brady. I think Dak and Carson probably gonna be better than Tom Brady. They're gonna be better than guys like Drew Brees and Roethlisberger and them. I feel that way, right? Aaron Rodgers still got like a year in the tank before he cuts everybody out over there. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of like the new garb or whatever, everybody and me and you should agree here. Everybody talks about Pat like they should, and they talk about Russell like they should. But they putting Lamar and Watson in there. I think Dak and Wentz should be there. Honestly, I can't.
I can't stand it. Lamar had an amazing year. He had a really good year. But come on, man. We all know that was because he was running like that, man. Come on. He had under 4,000 passing yards. He had more than 10 games with under 20 attempts. He ain't even throw the ball that much. Daniel Jones threw more passes than Lamar Jackson, and he didn't even start the season.
Sure.
But I'm not taking nothing away from the amazing season that man had. And another thing with Deshaun Watson, he's had talent around him. Went to the playoffs, didn't do too much. He got a playoff win though. Yeah. But he don't got the same combination that Carson and Dak have. Sure. A 4,000 passing yard season and a 30-plus touchdown season. They ain't doing that. Carson ain't do it in the same year, but he's done both in separate years. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Dak's done it in the same year. I don't think Watson ever threw for over 25 touchdown passes. I just don't think they're dangerous.
That's another thing too. That's another thing too. Is like I think that a lot of people better than Watson, but I can't prove it yet. But I'm ready to make this video. You know what I'm saying, later on at some point that the Texans offensive line ain't that bad. It's just Watson missing reads and getting sacked. So so at some point I'm gonna make that video. But you know, it is what it is, man. I got a few topics that ain't me and you fussing. I just kind of wanted to just touch on some Eagle-Cowboy relations, not necessarily versus each other, but I've been doing my homework on you. You need to tell your Eagle fan buddy friends that Justin Jefferson is a better receiver than Jalen Reagor. Y'all probably should have took him at 22.
Listen. I did. Me and Philly 500. We did this draft board thing.
Yeah.
We was every week we put a new player on our draft board. That was our thing for the beginning of the offseason. We had Justin Jefferson on it. We had Quez Watkins. We had Reagor. We had a bunch of people on the list. You know what I'm saying? And when we got to us, man, I did a live stream while we was drafting. I wanted Justin Jefferson so bad because Justin Jefferson hits what Carson Wentz is. Justin Jefferson is a beast in the red zone. Carson Wentz is probably one of the best red zone quarterbacks in terms of throwing touchdowns down there. Yeah. And you know what I mean? That's who I wanted. So I believe that, you know, him being able to play on the slot and the outside, I thought he was a better fit for Carson Wentz as well. But I can't be mad at the Jalen pick either. You know what I mean? I think Justin is he was better in college. Yeah. But Reagor had a bad court. He had 6 different quarterbacks in college. So we just got to see. But I would have picked Justin.
Yeah.
Or Justin for sure.
You know, the logic from y'all guys is that we was looking for speed. We was looking for speed. In my mind, I think Carson Wentz, and I could be wrong because you watch more, more than me. Like you'll watch it live, but I watch it like film wise or whatever. I think Carson is a better quarterback when he's on time. Like when the offense is like you know what I'm saying, like in the rhythm. I don't like if Carson was my guy, I wouldn't want to turn him into a gunslinger. You know what I mean? He can sling, but I would rather keep him on time. And Justin Jefferson being a route runner, I would rather somebody flash open and get separation than somebody that can run past everybody. Because you could take away a deep threat, but it's something different about route runners. I think that's why Ertz and Goddard do so well with y'all, because they find space, get open, Carson hits them, and it's a timing thing, right? But I think y'all drafting 3 super fast receiver guys, and most of them ain't gonna play because like Hightower and Quez got to fight because y'all still got like Godwin and Godwin.
He got to stay. He got to stay healthy though.
Yeah.
I think Hightower is going to play a lot in the punt return because we was like 6th last in that area.
Yeah.
But as far as Carson being a timing guy, I agree, man. Carson throws the ball at a time to where it gets the slowest guy open for some reason. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Carson is a good timing guy, but then also at the same time, who threw the longest touchdown pass in the league last year?
Man, I saw you talk about that one pass for 20 minutes on your live stream, man.
Would you relax? Look, it was week 1. The rest of the league had ample time to throw a longer touchdown pass. Jesus, imagine how many more 50-yard bombs Carson and Deshaun would have connected with. That was my logic with that. So can he air it out? Absolutely. Is he good with timing? Absolutely. I'd rather have the guy that can run routes. That's why Alshon is so effective. He ain't the fastest. He's effective though with Carson.
When I say this, I'm not like talking shit because we got our debate portion out the way. I legit think that Jalen Hurts was one of the worst picks in all draft history, like of all time. You know what I'm saying? And to be fair, like I don't think he was I don't think he's gonna transition well or whatever. But even if you take him, I just wouldn't take him in the second. Plus, even me saying that though, like Josh Allen is a playoff quarterback, and you can find ways to do stuff you want to do with him. I don't think he's Taysom Hill. I don't think he got an active arm or anything, and I don't think he's like super athletic to be like a Lamar Jackson kind of guy. I just think it was a terrible pick. What's your thoughts on Jalen Hurts?
It was terrible. It was the worst pick I ever witnessed in my life.
Yeah, I agree.
Being an Eagles fan, I'm not gonna lie, it was a terrible pick. I think that they really did it so Dallas wouldn't get him. Dallas wanted him for some reason.
I think we won, but we was looking at him in the 5th or something, like in the 4th or the 5th. Like we wasn't on the 2nd. Yeah.
I think that they were anticipating Dak holding out, and they was trying to just bulk up on quarterbacks for some reason. I don't know why you did that, man. I don't know. To this day, it puzzles me. I didn't even want to watch the rest of the draft, but we kind of cleaned it up after that because there was so much left on the board, and I think that years to come, I'm gonna be making a video about what was left on the board. And you know what I mean? Yeah. It was crazy. It was a bad pick. You can't justify that. Right. And I don't even think it was an insurance policy for Carson staying healthy. I think it was just a terrible pick.
Yeah. Just a reach. One last thing, and I'm gonna let you go so you can enjoy your Sunday. I can get this workout and all that. I know what you about to. I already know the vibes and all that, but rank the division. How many wins you think? Because it's really us two. Like it ain't really Washington and the Giants for real. It's really Dallas and Eagles or whatever. But just rank us and y'all and just what the records you think gonna be. This should be interesting. But go ahead, sir.
I've been thinking a lot about this one. I think the Eagles and the Cowboys are gonna make the playoffs again. Mm-hmm. I just feel like y'all gonna make the playoffs too. I feel like y'all gonna get a wild card spot. I think we're gonna win the division with like 11-5. Somewhere around there, probably 12-4, because I really like our schedule. And I know 12-4, that's a reach. I know it's a reach, but I like our schedule though, man. A lot of people say the schedule is hard, but we got like one game where we got to catch a plane in the first 10 weeks. Yeah. We got Baltimore, all that stuff is driving distance from Philly. And sleeping in your bed matters. And not being in hotels and getting the proper rest, that stuff matters. You know what I mean? When you talk about, putting this type of wear and tear on your body. The Giants, I think the Giants are on the rise. They did some good things with the offensive line. The Redskins are done. The Redskins probably going to win like 3 games. Right. I think Chase Young, they should have took a quarterback if you ask me. Right. You know what I mean? The Redskins are done. Sure. You know what I mean? I think it's possibly between the Eagles and the Giants or the Eagles and the Cowboys. Because that could go either way, the Giants and the Cowboys. So I think it could go either way, man.
All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get you up out of here, man. It's been real. Right. Yeah, man. Dak is better than Carson Wentz. Maybe not by a lot. But indeed he is. I appreciate you for coming through. Plug your channel, and tell everybody about your merch and all that. Get your monies, man.
Yeah, man. Check out the merch store, man. The merch store is always in the description to all my videos. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're subscribed, Lord Brunson, man, on YouTube. I do daily videos. I do a little segment at lunchtime at work in my truck, lunchtime with the bullies. You know what I mean? We just come through and we just talk, man. Cowboys fans, welcome. Y'all being there anyway. I like putting y'all in your proper place, so come on through. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't dare make a video about no Eagles players, man. It is what it is. But
dog, I saw you make a video. What was the video you just made? You got an Eagles video that I seen somewhere. I'm gonna send you the link.
I ain't talking about no damn Eagles, man. I don't talk about the Eagles on my channel. What I say about the Eagles?
I don't think you was talking about the Eagles, but the Eagles was in the thumbnail. That was probably a film breakdown. While you at it, you need to break down some film. I'm looking for this video till I see it.
Which one?
You need to break down some film of the Eagles and the Cowboys last meeting. I need a film. I need a good breakdown on that.
Okay, so I'll do that. But while I do that, go watch the Week 7 match when we were just smoking the hell out y'all. Go watch that one. Go watch that one, and then I'll make the one about week 16.
I will. All right, bro. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Great one, man. Salute.
All right.